Mr. Beeman was the recipient of a bad injury. We do know it's lower extremities. That's all we can tell you. That's all we know right now as part of it. It's just a lower limb injury. That's what we're looking at right now. And he's a lineman, and other talking heads are going to tell you that, well, it's not a big deal because Alabama does have, they've done pretty good on portaling in some offensive linemen. But guys, you got to say it's a problem. You got to say that it's a problem. You have to say, you have to notify that it's a problem because of the fact that it's another lineman missing. And the baddest part of any of it is the fact that he is part of the team that's been practicing with a line. So you can't just say, and this is, coming from opinions from, other people or whatever that I guess are more highly touted to speak on this than me, I guess. But I'm just saying, when you lose another guy, the problem is because he's been at practice. That's the real problem with it. The real problem is he's been at practice, and when you have a guy that's been used to being at practice and now he's not going to be there. Yeah, they're going to be able to roll in some different guys, but you still have a guy that's been taking reps with the first team, and now he's going to. I don't know if he's hurt his knee. They're saying that's probably more devastating for him than it is for the team. That's what they're kind of saying there. It's more devastating for the team than it is for anything else, because they do have some guys that can come in and play for him, but you have to know that, again, a guy that's been playing with the first team, you have a lineman, which takes a long time, longer than defensive linemen to catch on and adjust. And offensive lineman is a development position that takes time. I don't mean to play the position, but you're coming in from a new team, coming in through the portal, and it's just like when you just start to get your legs under you. Here we are. He's out. He's got a knee hurt. Well, it's terrible. More work. It's terrible for him. So that's just my take. I can't say that it's more worse for him than it is for the team, because it's a guy that's been practicing with the first team, and you just can't say that it's like it's not a. You can't say it's not a big problem. Especially why? Because I emphasize this, because of the problems with Bama running the ball over the last 5 years. You got to have consistency at offensive line. So Beeman, he's going to be a loss. So let's continue over here. We'll see if Coach DeBoer ever kicks up a live stream somewhere. This is where he comes on at. He comes on Alabama Crimson Tide on YouTube. You can find them over there, and I've got their live video selected, and when they go live. And he's supposed to talk to the media today. He hadn't been on with them in 3 days, and they had a secret practice yesterday, guys. Secret practice. Breaking news right here. That Keelon Russell, new starting quarterback, I imagine he was very excited to get out there and start playing. But I tell you one thing, here's the big key to this. I bet he was really excited to see one of his old buddies out here. Look at here, report coming in yesterday. Noah Rogers, who got hurt in the spring game, I think he got carted off. We kind of assume when we hear lower leg injury, we kind of assume that it's he tore his ACL. And initially we felt like, from reports we were hearing, that it's going to be mid-season maybe before it's going to be mid-season maybe before we got him back. So now it seems like it could be in the, anticipation of him coming back. And, they said he's been doing a good job working and stuff. So this is a big get for them. Noah Rogers back early. Put that over here in the comments. So what do y'all think about that? Seem like something you're kind of excited for? I think it's, well, let me tell you about Noah Rogers. If you don't think this is a big deal, I'll tell you this. Here's a key to it. Matt, how good do we know how good Noah Rogers was? Well, we can go by it this way. As a practice, we can say that where was he at as a player? He was the number 3 guy. He was behind Lottie, and he was behind Lottie Brooks, and he was going to be behind, of course, Ryan Williams. I'm sorry, I'm just putting this over here, sharing this with somebody. Okay. We'll come in over here and okay. So now Noah Rogers being back because, well, what happened was, to give somebody give other people chances, like in the running back room. This has been, big for Kevin Riley with AK Deer being out. Kevin Riley's a solid 2 now, but we've seen Trayshawn Brown show up at practice now at Bama. That's key. That's really important for other players, and it's good to know that they got depth at wide receiver, running back position. But this, with Noah being out, it gives the opportunity to freshman Cedric Morgan from Benjamin Russell down here, 5-star plus guy coming out of high school, top receiver in the country. But Noah Rogers being back early, he was the 3. It was Ryan, Lottie, and Noah. Well, Noah's back now, so I would assume that Keelon was probably really excited about being able to throw to Noah. And from reports and what we hear, and stuff and the going on, I don't know if it was a lot of catches. I don't know if he had a lot of stuff go his way, but he was at practice. And I don't think he had on a black jersey. I don't think he did. I don't think he was a black jersey. So that's important for Bama fans if that's something you're looking forward to about injuries, because it's just been one after another. It's every practice, every scrimmage or something, they got something wrong. We'll go back over here to this one and chat about that one more time just to make sure. Guys, yeah, reporting to you live here from Monday morning, waiting on Coach DeBoer to come in and speak with the media. He's usually about this time, 11:30, 12 o'clock. Another injury for Alabama. Beeman has went down, a lineman. He's got a knee issue, I guess, or lower leg. He could have got his foot stepped on, but we'll know more when Coach DeBoer comes out to talk about it. We'll know more of the detail of what it is. If he just somebody stepped on his ankle and he's going to be sore for a couple of days and he'll be fine, or if this is a knee thing and he's going to miss the season. And some people were trying to play it down and say, well, Bama's got plenty of other guys in, offensive lineman room to. I'm not saying you're wrong. And here's why I'm saying it is not a good thing, because this guy, he has been practicing with the team for weeks, and now all of a sudden he's not going to be there. Somebody else is going to have. Now, are the other guys prepared? Have they been running the plays right? Yes, they have. But there's a reason that they hadn't been playing, and Beeman has. There's a reason for that, because he won the position. So now you're going to take a guy that's won the position, and he's not going to be there. We don't know how long he's going to be out, and they're going to start. And we got right at under 3 weeks. They're going to play East Carolina. And then we're going to have Florida State and Kentucky. I have never heard of I don't know what it is. Somebody's not prayed up or something's going on. So anyway, Noah Rogers, back a little early, that's great. I love it. I think it's great for a young man that we've seen really, man, he really showed out. I mean, since early spring, he won the position. He was beating out these other guys like Cedric Morgan. He beat these guys out on their position. He beat Cedric Morgan out. He was going to be the number 3 guy, but there's 3 other goods, behind him, and he was going to be the 3rd receiver for sure. It was Ryan, Lottie, and Noah Rogers. Well, he was been hurt for a while. He's been out, so now he's back. So this is probably the biggest news of the week, and everybody's talking about it. And does it change where I would have, where I would rank Alabama? No, because I had them ranked 10 on my top 25 preseason poll anyway. And I had LSU at like 15. And I had Texas Tech about 16. All about in that same area. There's just, to say that they know who their starting quarterback is. And here's one thing. Let's don't read too much. Let's talk about 2 things right here. Let's talk about what does this mean for the team as a whole? And let's talk about how let's just take into account what he's actually said this is week 1 quarterback. And let's take into effect what this means for Austin Mack. Well, number one, the article that come out says that, what's going on, Zachary? Hope you're having a great day, man. Off here on a Monday, so DeBoer's supposed to be coming on talking, Zach, and I was just wanting to come on live and capture his live reaction about stuff we got going on. Zach, we got Noah Rogers back. He's back in the wide receiver mix again. He was at practice, secret Sunday practice, man, and we lost another lineman. Beeman's, I don't know how bad it is. We're going to have to find out more today. That's what we're going to find out. Beeman is out. I don't know if somebody stepped on his foot, stepped on his ankle. Did he tear a LCL, MCL, ACL? I don't know. We're going to have to, so I'm waiting on DeBoer. So I was off today, and I saw he was going to be live, and I thought, I seen this practice yesterday. I found out about it later yesterday, and I'm like, why are they practicing on? I mean, a lot of teams practice on Sunday, but they went out to the field. So I thought that was pretty interesting. And Noah Rogers back catching passes. He was the 3. He won the job over Cedric Morgan and the other 2 guys. I'm sure Keelon was excited about that. So he's back. So we was talking about Keelon and what he adds, the other wrinkle he adds to the game. Look, guys, we watched film on him. We could break it down every 6 ways from Sunday. If you know college football and you watch this guy play, you can see that he has arm talent that's not normal. It's an uncanny ability that he has. Now his intellect of the game is going to come, and he'll know more and learn more, of course, as he goes along, and has more and more college snaps. And he's played some college ball. He's played against the Eastern Illinois and some of that, and if you watch that and you're a real watcher of the game, and most people are not watching Alabama closely. If anybody's usually watching Alabama, they're hate watching because they're fans of another team and they hate Alabama, and that's fine. But seeing him play some of the positions and the plays and breaking down some of the plays, and it looks to me like he could possibly be overthinking stuff and trying too hard in some games. You got a big home game. You're the new starting quarterback, etc. You want to make a splash. He takes off running sometimes that I don't like. I didn't like that sometimes. He's got to learn when to slide. But now, with it being, what's that being? I'm going to have to look into that. I just saw that this morning, talking about the dismissal of the Texas linebacker, Smith. Yeah, I just talked about him yesterday. It ain't going to help none. It won't help none for sure. That's for sure. And what we're saying that, there's things that Keelon does in these lesser games that we've saw, so we're trying to judge him off of that. I think some of that's because he wanted to, make a splash, and I think some of that may be because he wanted to be seen and wanted to make a big play, and he takes off running sometimes. He's going to have to learn when to slide and when to – his arm talent stuff, as I said originally, there's no questions about anything. This guy's a, All-American, Mr. Gatorade, MVP, Elite 11, 5-star plus. He's a track star from Duncanville, one of the biggest classifications in Texas high school. Runs the 400. He's fast. He's smart. So that's kind of – I'm going to see how he develops in the system. And as smart as he is, I think, and his background – and now here's another thing. Let's talk about – we could bring this up. Keelon lost his twin sister. And – that's a losing anybody close, but losing your twin sister, that's big. So, how's that affected him? You don't just move on, man. Kirsten was his, from reports, he leaned on her a lot, and the stuff that he did was it's his sister, man. It's his twin sister. And she was 18. You don't just lose somebody that close in your family and it just don't affect you. So his process through that, he's a Christian kid. He's not a kid. Sorry. I call these people. He's a Christian man. Sorry. He got baptized again back some time ago, just a few months ago. We're back last year, and so those type of things in his comments about that, where he's doing everything for her now. So when you have a driven goal, is that something that he can keep his sights and focuses on, and to focus on the game and focus on each game, and not forget, the goal is the most important game is the next game, and that's why it's the most important game, and not get caught up in thinking too much about stuff. Because talking about mental health, and we'll move on to this next topic here. Jalen Milroe had a lot of social anxiety that we had seen through the Yay Alabama Club. And if you watched any videos with him and saw how he reacted to stuff and him talking about things, and you could watch his body language on the field, talking about Milroe, he had a lot of social anxiety. And I know you're thinking, he's the starting quarterback in Alabama. How could he not be Mr. Super confident? And well, maybe he's confident in his, his physical abilities because, God gave him a lot of speed and strength. But the social cues of it, and being a quarterback, man, you're the leader of the team. And I think that affected Milroe a lot his first year coming in and starting. I think he was better his second when he really got in there. So, curious about our buddy, Keelon over here, and I hope it goes well for him, and I'm pulling for him. He's a good guy, good young guy. We don't hear nothing bad about him. So the next part to this, part two, was we talked about Austin Mack. What does this mean for Mack? What does this mean for Austin Mack? Guys, hit the thumbs up while you're over here. That's all I'm asking. Comment over here in the section. Ask questions. We could set a poll. I thought about putting out a poll that says, is Texas going to be the top offense in college football? Take or pass. I was thought about putting that poll up. I may put it up later. Go to the YouTube page, and I put post up usually every day. Some kind of little topic. I had one up about our next topic we're going to be talking about here in a minute. NFL guys, well, just this one, right, coming back from, he's been everywhere. I mean, he's been all over from Virginia Tech to, he wound up at Ole Miss, and he's coming back now to play for LSU. And we're going to have my take on it. Is it that big of a deal? I mean, it's for this year class, that 22 class, for them to get, another time to play. And is it something to really panic about? And I'll give you my take on it, so y'all hang around for that. Now, continuing on here, after you get the thumbs up here, if you ain't subscribed, you can do that too. I'd appreciate it. And I'm on Big Show Sundays, and I'm usually on Tuesday and Thursday. And I have some spots that I put out about stuff, just topics, stuff about college football. Austin Mack. What does he do? What's he do, guys? Keelon has been named starting quarterback week 1. And I know that 90% of people are going to just assume that that means he's the starter indefinitely. By the way it being worded, and to say that he's only he's just the quarterback for week one, is that just word salad? Is that just word salad for them? Is that, what does that really mean? That he's not going to be the starting quarterback indefinitely. What does that mean? Yeah. And some reports that I saw on Twitter, Zach, that you're ready and you stay ready. To be ready, you got to stay ready. So, is it word salad for the other team to think, well, they're just naming him week one quarterback? That don't mean that he's going to be the starter all year. They're just saying that that may be all it is. Because everybody, we're just going to assume that it's not. That we're going to assume that it means he's going to be the quarterback all the year. But like Zach, hey, what if something happens? He gets hurt. He gets out there, and we saw him in the spring games or the Eastern Illinois game trying to run around and do too much. I just mentioned that a while ago. Slide, man. You got to learn you're a commodity now. You're worth a lot of money. You got to learn to slide. You can't just run around out there willy nilly like that. So, what does Austin Mack do? I would assume Mack would be. I'm going to say. I'm going to say he stays because he can stay till. Well, the portal's not till what, November. So he can hang around here till November. He can hang around till then. Now, where does Austin Mack go then? Well, he's from the Folsom, California area. That's where he's from. He's probably closer to like UCLA, I think, just geographically where he lives there. He could wind up. He could go back to Washington. Coach Fish there. He's a good coach, man. They're not bad. Washington's they're a top 20. I think they're a top 20 football team. They're probably 20 on my poll. 20, 21. He could go back out there and play. So, what do y'all think? What happens to him? So, next topic at hand. We're still waiting for Coach DeBoer to come in. I promise you, they practice today, and he usually comes on about that time. And if you don't, we'll jump off here, and we ain't gonna spend forever. About 30 minutes. In the first 2 or 3 minutes of any live stream, guys. If you are still watching, thank you so much. Hit the thumbs up. If you watch a lot of live streams, most of the time, your first 2 minutes, you're trying to let stuff happen because things have to start running. And the chat starts running, and then it takes this, your engine and stuff and YouTube to kick up, and for stuff, start working. So, not many live streams just come on and go, "Hey guys, welcome to the show." Today we're going to be talking about, that's a recorded video. That's when you see my shows like that. Those are recorded spots that I go through and clip the first part off, and we just get right to it. Live videos are a little different, and I like doing live videos because I like talking, I like chatting with people about the topics at hand. Which being number 3 topic on the hand after we've talked about Noah Rogers back for Bama. That's big. That's good news for them, man. Number 3 wide receiver. You got Ryan. You got Lottie. You got Noah. Keelon Russell named the starter. What does this mean for them long term? And where does Austin Mack go, from here? What does this, where does he wind up in all this? And lastly, again, Daquan Wright, Mr. Mover, he might as well, I don't have a sponsorship from a luggage company. He's been to so many teams, and I could go through the list. I'm not going to. The point of this whole topic is this: what do I think about personally this Daquan Wright situation? Personally, I don't think it's a big deal. I know a lot of people are, and also a lot of people are just saying stuff to get you to click their video. Shocking. They'll have a picture of, their face on the YouTube thumbnail. Oh, NFL player back to college. This opens a gateway to portal to hell. Paul Feinbaum uses the word abyss. These are snap words that get into the algorithm and make people click their videos. And maybe that's why I'm not a huge YouTuber, because I don't think I have to do that. I think you're kind of, why do you need to do that? Why do we need to shock? Just give you an honest reaction, be an honest person, be real, and be straight and be upfront. But that's what you get from the big YouTubers. And I'm not trying to be them because I can't keep up with them because I don't have their money. I don't have their production team. I have to run the chat. I have to run the production. I have to run directing. I have to keep eye on the mics and the cameras. If something go, I'm in and out of windows, going back and forth. They don't do that. If all I had to do was just, if somebody did everything, and I just come up here and did this, I'd be even better at it. But I don't have that, because I have to produce all my own stuff. So with that being said, I don't need to shock you with my reaction. I'm just being honest. I don't think is it stupid? Yes, it's dumb. Does it seem kind of feminine to me? Yep, it does. If you go NFL and you can't make it and you go, I'm going to go back then. That's not fair. I got the varsity and I wasn't good. I'm going to go back and play with the junior varsity. I'm going to play with the B team. Bull crap. There ain't no way none of our coaches that I know, from Coach Howard or Coach Carpenter back in the day or Coach Mintz or somebody, they ain't no way they going to let some varsity kid come back down and play junior high because he wasn't good enough for varsity. Do they let some basketball guys, if they hold him a year? Yeah, maybe he's 13 and he's not, 14. He's not ready to be on the varsity like some 14-year-old varsity kids, like, I don't know, like freaking Jermaine or somebody that was just good and he was just better than everybody. He was better at 13 than I was when I was 18 because he's good. He could dunk a volleyball like nearly from the free throw line like an 8th grader. But this new stuff, guys, what are we doing? Number one, you got to say, why would they allow him? He's lane, but he ain't got no integrity. That's why he's not coaching Alabama. Saban did not call him. People, y'all got to quit saying that. Lane he'd have been the next head coach if he wanted. He wanted to be it. He got his feelings hurt over there. Daddy Kiffin spanked him and he got hurt and he'd run from the tide. And that's why he don't want to bullshit crap. If he got a call from Nick Saban when he was retiring, Lane Kiffin would have packed up that day. It's Alabama. Whether you haters want to admit it or not, anybody's taking that job. They'll dump what they're doing to go do it. But there's some guys that don't want to. Like Dan Lanning didn't want to. He's trying to build something on his own. Nobody wanted to follow Saban. Kirby's not. He's at Georgia. He played there. Why would he leave there? So Kiffin over here, of course he's going to take him because he's a goofball. He should come out and say, I've heard reports. I'm trying to get a football team ready to go play a game, but I'm hearing reports that Daquan, an old ex-player of mine at Ole Miss, which I love dearly, good player, enjoyed his time there with him. But we're not taking guys this is a amateur sport. We've already got enough stuff going on now with NIL. I'll decline on making any comments about Daquan coming to LSU. The NCAA has no control or authority over nothing anymore. Linebacker up at Tennessee is going to have to sit out and miss 2 games because of a $400 ticket. But you're going to let this jackwagon come in here and play college football? He's signed and played with a pro team. He tried out. It's stupid. It's the stupidest thing I've ever heard of. Do I think it's a big deal? My take is no, because it's another one-off thing. I think most men do. I think most dudes would kind of be embarrassed. Like, I'm going to come back from pro It's like a senior going out on the playground and playing tag football with the 7th grade. What? Obviously, wasn't a starting senior. Obviously, he was the 3rd string kicker, and he's out there playing with the 7th graders now, and he just kind of fits in. Who's to say he's even going to be great if LSU take? And I'm sure Lane's going to take him. But here's where the hyperbole comes in, and this is the part that we need to listen to closely and get right before we get off here. These fans over here, and that little yellow tiger on the bottom left, you can see him. They were the first team, well, besides Auburn, to blow up the internet about Bediaka come back and play at Alabama after, his semi-pro play. They just smoked Alabama. That's stupid. Look at Bama. They have to go get some guy from the pros to put on the basket. He wasn't even the best player on the team, and they knew that. We just put him back out there to grab some rebounds, get some boards, because we like him. He's a good kid. They blow the internet up. But now it's back full circle. And it's okay to go get a guy he literally played pro. I mean, there's no getting around it. But Bediaka, he used to have to say it. He's done it at the Tide. They cheaters. All they've ever done is cheat. That's always he wins, just cheat and pay players. Hey, Stupo in the back. Hey, Gux Tigers, let me tell you about that. Hey, we're going to go get our player. He's going to come play from pro football. He played down over here at Cleveland Brown. He's been at the Eagles, and we're going to bring you back there. Let's you go Tigers. It's okay for us to do it. Shut up. It's not. It's the same thing. And it's dumb. Is it a big deal again for the 3rd time? No, not really. Because it's just for this class, that 22 class, that gets another year. I think most guys, as me, I'd be embarrassed. I just could not go play pro and not make it. And then I'm going to go back and you don't even know these kids that are on the teams. He's 20, I think he's 22. Y'all can check me on that. Please do. I think DeQuan Wright, I think he's 22. I don't know if he's just turned 22 or he will be 23. I think he will be 23. Y'all are welcome to check it. And whatever you say, I'll go with you. But the reason it's not a big deal because he's not going to be the oldest guy in college football. I don't even think, from reports I've seen, he's not even going to be the oldest guy on the team. So that's all I got about that. And I'm looking for Coach DeBoer, and he's still not on. I got jacked up. I got lied to. He may be on at 1 or 2. So I'll go back and probably record his speech. And he don't talk long after practice. They usually turn the podium. Wait a minute. Oh, boy, I thought I had something. They usually turn the podium thing on, and it's like 5 minutes goes by, and he'll come up and talk for 10. Like, well, here's a presser from a little while back. He usually talks about 10, 15 minutes. So anyway, that's all I got for this morning. I want to get DeBoer on and see what he had to think about the secret Sunday practice. And another injury to the Tide. Got a lineman out, man. Beeman's out. I don't know how long, if it's knee, foot, ankle, I don't know. Was waiting on DeBoer. I was supposed to hear from him. But we do have Noah Rogers back, so that's good news. Your number 3 receivers back. Ryan, Lottie, and Noah were the 3. Noah got hurt, and then C.D. Morgan stepped in and been taking reps, and he's still going to get in. Trust me, if you ain't seen some film, go check out C.D. Morgan. He's going to be a fantastic football player. Julio Jones-esque, is who a lot of sports writers, not Bama writers, just some sports writers in general, kind of compare him to him. The way he runs, his build. So he's exciting to see. But, man, dang. Every practice, they got somebody hurt. The tailbacks, linemen, receivers. Who was the other kid? The Sherman kid. He's a freshman DB. I think he's a portal kid that come in, and he's not a starter, but it's just somebody every day he's hurt. I don't know, man. They got to get prayed up. So anyway, y'all enjoy the rest of your day. God bless you. We love you guys. Thank all y'all for coming by. Hit the thumbs up on the way out the door.